Here in Kenya, we have two types of gulls. We have the exotic gulls and we have the local gulls. If you know the meaning of the exotic gulls, those are the slay queens, and the local gulls are the gulls that they are known as kienyeji. They're the gulls from the village. And as you know, the exotic gulls are very, very expensive to keep. And the local gulls, the kienyeji ones, are very cheap to maintain. So in this video, guys, I will prove to you why I'm saying so. So 2024 is here and you want to start a profitable poultry farming venture, and you want to choose, you don't know if you can choose between the exotic, which is the broilers and the layers, or the local birds. For example, for the local birds, we can have the local that our grandmothers usually kept, and also we can have the hybrid, which have been crossbred with the indigenous chicken of that area so that they can be adaptable in that area. So I will classify them as local. So you want to choose between the exotic, which I've said is the layers and the broilers, and the indigenous, the local chicken. So in this video, I will explain to you the best breeds of chicken that you can choose, and I will tell you the benefits of each breed over the other. So what is the real difference between exotic, the layers and the broilers, and the indigenous, the local chicken? First difference, we will start with diseases. For the exotic, the layers and the broilers, you must maintain high levels of biosecurity on your farm, because those chicken are really prone to diseases, whereby you can find a small cough can take away the chicken. So that is the big difference. And also for the broilers are very prone to diseases. Make sure if you're keeping the broilers on your farm, you are maintaining high levels of biosecurity on your farm. And for the local chicken, the benefit of the local chicken, since the local chicken have been really free ranging outside, like they are eating the plants, they are eating different varieties of plants, this can help them to have a stronger immunity. Unlike the exotic ones, which they only eat the feed that is bought from the market. So our second difference is the return on investment. How much money will you be able to make, and for how long will it take you to make that money if you have invested between the exotic ones and the local chicken? I will talk about the layers, comparing them with the indigenous chicken that have been crossbred, which are known here in Kenya as improved kienyeji. Those are the two breeds that I will talk about, the layers and the improved kienyeji. And I will start with the layers. So I will read, because I've prepared something down here. So we will start with the purchase of chicks. If you are purchasing the layers, if let's say for example you're starting with 100 chicken, the cost of purchasing layers, 100 chicken in Kenya, is 130 bob per chick. So that amounts to 13,000 Kenyan shillings. If it is in dollars, that is $0.83. If you are multiplying that by 100, that means for the cost of 100 chick of layers, it will cost you $83. Okay? Then let's head to the chick mash. Chick mash for 100 layers. The chick mash for 100 layers, between day 1 up to week 8, the layers will consume 2 kgs per chicken. So that will amount to 200 kgs for all 100 chicken. So for the price of chick mash here in Kenya is 4,100 Kenyan shillings. So if you multiply by that, because 4,100 Kenyan shillings for a 50 kg bag. So if you multiply by that by 4, so it will be 200 divided by 50. So those will be 4 bags. So 4 times 4,100, that will be 16,400 Kenyan shillings. So if that is in US dollars, that will be, for each bag will be costing 26.04 US dollars. If it is for 4 bags, that will be 26.4 times 4. So that will be 104.16 for the cost of chick mash. Okay. Now let's head to growers mash. The layers between the ages of week 9 up to the laying point, which is around week 19 to week 20. The layers chicks will consume around 7 kgs per chick. So that will amount to 700 kgs for 100 chicken. So you take the 700, divide by 50, then you get the 14 bags of growers mash that the chick will have consumed. So you take 14 times the cost of growers mash here in Kenya, which is 3250. So if you take 14 times 3250, you'll get 45,500 Kenyan shillings. If you are using dollars, you take the 14 bags times the cost of growers mash. 50 kg bag is 20.69, which will amount to 289.66 US dollars. Okay. So that is the cost of grower's mash. Now we will head to the layer's mash. The layer's mash, a chicken that has started laying will need to eat 130 grams of layers per day. So if you are having 100 chicken, this means that your chicken will eat 13 kgs, because you just take 130 grams times 100, you get 13 kgs of layers mash per day. So the cost of layers mash in Kenya per 50 kg bag is 34.50. That is 21.91 US dollars. So the feed per day for the 100, you will take the 13 divided by 50 kgs of that bag, then you multiply by the amount of money that each bag costs, so that you can get the real amount of money that the chicken are consuming per day. So you'll take 13 divided by 50 times 34.50. You'll end up getting 897 Kenyan shillings, which amounts to 5.72 US dollars. Okay? So after you have done that, you'll have known that the chicken will be consuming 897 Kenyan shillings per day on feeds and 5.72 US dollars on feeds per day of layers mash in Kenya or all over the world. So now we want to know if you are really making money out of this venture. So we'll say this chicken are laying 90% of it. 90%. Okay? The cost of a tray of egg here in Kenya is 450 Kenyan shillings. That will be around 2.86 US dollars. So if you're having 100 chicken, this means this chicken are giving you 3 trays of eggs per day. So you take the 3 times the sale of that 1 tray of egg, which is 450 Kenyan shillings, which will amount to 1,350 Kenyan shillings. If you are doing it in dollars, you'll take 3 times 2.86 US dollars. That will amount to 8.58 US dollars of sales of eggs per day. So if you want to get your profit in that, you have to take the sales revenue minus the expenses. So we'll do that. So we'll take the sales of eggs, which is 1350, minus the expenses, which is 897, which amounts to 453 Kenyan shillings in profit. If you're keeping 100 layers, that is, if it is in US dollars, the sales of eggs is 8.58 minus 5.72 US dollars. The profit will be 2.86 US dollars per day. That is profit per day. Okay. So if you want to know the profit per month, because per day that is very small number, so we'll take the 453 Kenyan shillings times 30 days in a month, we will get 13,590 Kenyan shillings in profit. After you have done that, we will do USD, which is 2.86 times 30, which is 85.3 US dollars in profit per month. That is for the layers. So for the layers, it will take you, for example, if you, at the time that will break even, after the chicken have started laying, you will take your initial investment. If you try to calculate your initial investment, let's now get the total cost. For the purchase of chicks is 13,000, which is $83. For the chick mash is 16,400, which is 104.16 US dollars. For the growers mash is 45,500 Kenyan shillings, which amounts to 289.66 US dollars. And then we have miscellaneous, maybe for vaccines, for if you are keeping some chicken for the brooding, for the multivitamins, you'll have 5,000 Kenyan shillings, which is 31.81 US dollars. So the total amount of money that you would have spent, the expenses, before your chicken started laying, the 100 chicken will be 79,000 Kenyan shillings, 900, which is 509.73 US dollars. Okay, so that will be the expense on airs before they start laying. So you really want to know at what point will you be breaking even. That means that the money that you had invested in that venture will be coming back to you, then you'll start to make a profit. So what you usually do, you take the total expenses before the chicken started laying over the profit per month, so that you can know after how many months will you be able to get a profit out of this venture. So you take 79,900 divide by 13,590. Okay, Or if it is in US dollars, you take 509.73 divided by 85.3 US dollars. Then you'll find out that it will take you an approximate of 5.87 months for you to break even and start making a profit out of this venture, if you are keeping the layers. Okay, so it will take you that long. So if you add for how long you will wait before you start getting your money back, you must add the around 4.5 months that you invested before the chicken started laying. That waiting period, if you are keeping the layers, that waiting period, the around 4.5 months. So you take the 4.5 months plus the 5.87, which will around 10.37 months before you start making a profit out of layers. Now you will really know why I said that exotic girls are really expensive to keep, unlike the local girls. So now let's go to our local chicken. Our local chicken, if you are keeping 100 local chicken, it will cost you 10,000 Kenyan shillings, which is 63.80 US dollars. Then for the chick mash, you will only feed this chicken chick mash up to 3 to 4 months old. I've calculated up to 3 to 4 months old, which will consume around 6 kgs per chicken for the 100. So that means that the chicken would have consumed 600 kgs for the 100 local chicken that I'm telling you about, the improved kienyeji, the hybrid chicken. I have just classified them as local because they are classified in that way. Okay, so for that means the chicken would have consumed 12 bags. The cost of chick mash is 26.04 US dollars. If in Kenyan shillings, it is 4,100 Kenyan shillings. So if it is for 12 bags, that means it is 12 times 26.04. So 12 times 26.04 is 312.48 US dollars. That is for the cost of chick mash. If it is in Kenyan shillings, it's 12 bags times 4,100, which is 49,200 Kenyan shillings. So we must also add the miscellaneous. So for the miscellaneous, we will add around that 5,000 if it is for the Kenyan shillings, which is 49,200 plus the 5,000, which will give you 54,200 Kenyan shillings. On expenses, in USD, it will be 312.48 US dollars. Now let's head to the total expenses for the local chicken, the indigenous local chicken that have been crossbred. For the purchase of chicks is 63.80 US dollars. That is 10,000 Kenyan shillings. Then for the chick mash is 312.42 US dollars, which that is 49,200 Kenyan shillings. Then for the miscellaneous, we will have 31.81, that is USD. Then for the Kenyan shillings, it will be 5,000 Kenyan shillings. So the total expenses for the local chicken, it will be 408.03 US dollars. In Kenyan shillings, it will be 64,200 Kenyan shillings. That is for 100. Okay, so you have raised this chicken up to 3 to 4 months. Now what you will do, you will have just to sell them off. Okay, so selling them off for meat at 3 to 4 months after you have fed them the way I have told you, only on chick mash, no growers mash. The cost, you will be selling this chicken between 800 to 1,000 Kenyan shillings per chicken. That is real. You can go in the market and you can find out the prices. That is the true market price, which amounts to between 5.10 US dollars to 6.37 US dollars per chicken. So that means that if you want to know the profit, you will take the sales minus the expenses. So this is just after 3 months. You will take 510 US dollars minus 408.03. You will get a profit of 101.97 or 637, which is the highest that you can ever get if you are selling at 1,000. That's just the range. Minus 408.03, you will get 228.97. So the total profit of raising the indigenous chicken, it will range between 101.97 to 228.97 US dollars. If it is in Kenyan shillings, you'll take the total sales minus expenses, which is 80,000 Kenyan shillings minus 64,200, then you'll get 15,800 If you're selling at 1,000 bob, you'll get, if you have gotten only the roosters, you can sell 100,000 Kenyan shillings minus the total expense, which is 64,200, which will amount to 35,800 Kenyan shillings. So the range will be between 15,800 to 35,800. That is in a span of 3 months only. So meaning, if you have already broken even, you know, this one you only broke even instantly after you have already sold them at 3 months old. Do you see that? If it is at 3 months old, you sell them off and you have already broken even at 3 months old. But for the layers, you are waiting up to 11 months, around 11 months for you to break even. So at the time that a person who has kept 100 layers is breaking even, for you who has kept the local chicken, you have made a profit 3 times before the guy breaks even and makes a profit. You know, it is not that he has made a profit yet. No, it's when he's breaking even. And you have already made a profit 3 times of what he or she, 3 or around 3 to 3.5 times of what or he or she will have made. So that is one benefit of putting the local chicken. So that is why I usually say the local girls are way cheaper to maintain than the exotic ones. I think now you know why I refer to that statement. So let's head to our other difference of this chicken. Another difference is the market. The market for the local chicken, if you are selling for meat, it is easier and it is readily available if you are living in Africa, and most people usually want the organic chicken. So guys, if you really want to support the channel, I have a link down in the description whereby you can buy me a coffee. Just down there you can click it and you can donate to the channel so that you can be able to support this channel.